In this video of My Blue Label Quick Start Guide, I will show you how to create a project. In My Blue Label, we are encouraging a culture of collaboration, sharing best practices and scalability. So that one good example of an inventory implementation project that everybody is asking for can now be shared across the entire company and not only be available for the process experts and the people with more than 25 years of experience. In My Blue Label, we share expert knowledge through project plan templates. We do that by modeling any project methodology and link pre-filled document templates with every task. In this way, it can be ensured the projects are delivering the right information at the right time in the expected level of quality. First, I will start by creating a project from a template and assign users to the project plan roles and responsibilities. Then I will show you how the project plan schedule status is visualized in project, organization and company level. And last, I will edit a project plan and as an example change the start date, end date and the duration of a task. My name is Ken and I will guide you through the My Blue Label Quick Start Guide. First, I will navigate to the Create page. I do that by clicking the Create button. The Create page is now displayed, and in the Create page, I click on Project. The new project page is now displayed. All the fields in this page are mandatory. The fields are marked with red borders and must be filled in. First, we need to select the organization where the inventory is available and the project must be running. The selection of the inventory functions also as a filter to select the relevant inventory. Then we must select the inventory for which we have an action to either implement or maintain. The title of the project must of course be given to identify the project with the project stakeholders and also as a reference name for traceability in the rest of the modules in the solution. The description of the project helps to clarify at high level the intended scope of the project. As roles and responsibilities must be delegated within the project, a project manager must be assigned. Only a user who is allocated to the selected organization and who is assigned the project manager role can be selected here. In My Blue Label, the project type can either be project or operational. The context of an operational project is to make a repeatable monitoring action visible within the operation phase of an inventory. It also functions as a container of the system periodic review activities and thereby enables traceability at any given phase in an inventory lifecycle. My Blue Label exists of an administrator instance and an end user instance, and we are now working on the end user instance. In the admin instance, you are able to predefine project plan templates and link each task with a documentation template. So you can design your own project plans for any implementation type. Might it be for establishing a QMS or running an inventory implementation project. To demonstrate the possibilities in the Try Now demo environment, we have pre-selected 5 different project plan templates. Or you can choose to create your own admin project plan templates, and this is where you get the full value of My Blue Label. You can get your own administrator instance and start creating your own project plan templates and share them within your company. Just send us a mail at trynow@mybluelabel.com and we will enable the admin instance for you. The template description is changing automatically by the selection of the project plan template. The last thing to do is to select a start date and click Create Project. I will now show you an example of how to create a project from a template. In the organization, I'm selecting Quality Management. In the inventory, I'm selecting My Quality Management System. In the title, I'm entering the project name, Implementation of My QMS. I will add the description for the project. A project manager must be selected, and I select the only available project manager of the current users in the solution. The type of this project is a project. Now I can select the project plan templates which match the project plan scope, and therefore I select implementation of a full quality management system. The template description is automatically populated. I select the start date to be the 3rd of September 2018. All the details are now filled in and I will click Create Project. Within a few seconds, the project plan is now created. The project plan phases and tasks are listed in the left pane. In the left pane, there's currently a red exclamation mark next to all the tasks. This relates to the roles and responsibilities fields which are currently empty. The intention is to fill the users immediately in the Edit Project Plan page. However, I will explain why the tasks are having a red exclamation mark. If I browse to a task, I can see there's no task owner assigned. This is because we did not fill in the roles and responsibilities yet. During the creation of a project plan template, it is not possible to guess which users will be actually assigned to any given project in any given organization, and each task is instead assigned to a system role. By assigning users to the roles and responsibilities in the project, the task owner will then automatically be assigned to each individual task at project level. Therefore, the last task we have to complete is to assign users to the roles and responsibilities. For this, I will browse back to the project level. I will select Edit Project under Actions to be able to select the relevant users for the roles and responsibilities. Please notice only the users with the relevant assigned system role can be selected for a given responsibility in the project. When all users have been selected, I select Save under Actions. The red exclamation mark has now turned into a green check mark. The task owner information is now populated with the user who, based on system role, is responsible for this action. Each task is also having a document template attached. These templates can be downloaded for applicable modification and completion. When we have verified the correctness of our project plan and assigned the relevant users, it is now time to publish the project so we can manage and monitor the project according to plan, schedule and timeline. I will browse back to the project level. At the project level under Actions, I select Publish Project. The project is now published. The project plan status is now green, which means the project plan schedule is on track. The project plan schedule status is calculated from the individual project plan tasks. If one task is yellow, which means the task needs attention, then there's only 2 days according to the plan schedule until the task must be completed. The task can either be completed in the workflow, or the task start or end date can be adjusted to a realistic start or end date. If a task is red, it means the task schedule is off track and the whole project turns red. The same actions for the task in status yellow needs attention is applicable for the task in status red off track. The task, workflow status and schedule status is displayed by visual indicators in the left pane. Therefore, the exact project status can be given within seconds when viewing a project plan in MyBlueLabel. The project plan status is visible in My Projects. My Projects are applicable to the logged-in user. The dashboard is displaying the status of all the currently assigned projects. The project status is also visible in My Dashboards. My Dashboard's visibility is enabled according to role-based access for stakeholders at company, organization, or at project level. I will now show how to edit a task and update the plan schedule. And I will change the workflow status in the first task in the project. First, I will navigate to the task which needs to be updated. I do that by navigating to the project. And then I navigate to the task. In the task, I click Edit Task under Actions. In the plan schedule, I select a new start date and end date. Notice the duration is automatically updated. I click Save under Actions. The users who can change status of a given task is based on task ownership and project roles and responsibilities. We'll now change the workflow status from status new to status started. Notice when the task workflow status is updated, the left pane task status is updated. The phase status is updated. And the overall project plan status is updated. The project plan can be displayed in a Gantt chart. It can be done by selecting Gantt chart under Actions. The Gantt chart is mainly used to visualize the task dependencies, but the task can also be updated here as well. If requested, the project plan can also be exported to either Excel or XML format, which is compatible with Microsoft Project. We have now gone through the MyBlueLabel Quick Start Guide for projects. I've showed you how to create a project plan from a predefined template. I showed you how the project is linked to an organization and to an inventory. And I also showed you how to edit a project. If you're downloading all the document templates from the project plan, you're already 80% complete in establishing your own quality management system. The only part which is missing is a validated electronic document management system to store and maintain your documentation. For the next steps to set up a complete quality management system, please follow the next video where I will show you how to create a document in the document management module and link the document back to the project plan task in MyBlueLabel.